everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while. I mean, I say that every time. I'm kind of busy with uni and work, and like I really want to gun through my final year, my final semester, because it was delayed last year. And truth be told, sometimes during COVID, I'm very grateful to be where I am, but I have, like many people, really taken a hit through COVID. Obviously, I work in entertainment. That has been more difficult. I'm a student and that has been really difficult, studying online. My extracurriculars, but my hobbies, my interests, my career, my friends, my whole world is basically in entertainment and live events, and all that has been taken away. So I feel sad sometimes. So while I'm really grateful to be continuing on with life, I live in Melbourne and we've been through a few lockdowns, and it's been very demoralizing because the unknownness, the uncertainty of when we're going to get out of lockdown. And in the past we were really aiming for COVID 0, and that was just, with the case numbers, just not possible. So since they have determined to go via a vaccination rate, I think that's just a lot better and it's kept me a bit more sane. So that is why I haven't really been around. Anyway, I today wanted to talk a bit about skincare. That is something that I have always been fairly passionate about, but in the last 2 years I have been a lot more passionate about. I have been fairly lucky with my skin. I haven't really suffered from intense acne or intense hormonal issues or intense skin issues, but I did suffer from hormonal acne a little bit, and I used antibiotics prescribed by a dermatologist, doctor, and that really helped clear my skin up when I was in uni, I would say, like bachelor's. And then I got psoriasis when I was about 17, 18, pretty badly. For me, it was around my eyelids, the back of my neck, all around my elbows, up and down, parts of my legs, and also contact dermatitis, often a lot, from lots of different skincare and makeup products. So because of that, I'm always a fairly simple routine, but then I was like, oh, I want to get into vitamin C and hyaluronic acid and retinoids. I was like, I'm in my, at this age that I'm at, I want to start doing everything. And then I started getting into beauty devices, beauty treatments. But then the last couple of weeks, I was like, I think I might try to simplify, because I encountered a few different problems peeling. And I noticed actually when I didn't do any skincare, apart from just washing my face with water, I actually developed more problems. Doing my full skincare routine, I would develop more problems than if I just left it alone. But I think I'm reaching a happy medium, and so today I thought I would show you guys. So the first thing I use is a cleansing oil, which I will pop here. The one that I'm currently using anyway, and I normally go with a double cleansing method. So preface this by saying I have two routines, an AM and a PM, and my PM is the one that I will talk about first, because it is probably the most involved. So my PM routine consists of double cleansing, so an oil cleansing formula, and then my cream cleansing, or my cleansing to get rid of the oil that is on my skin. I don't really have a preference, but I generally like creamier formulas, and always sensitive, because I consider my skin sensitive. I get contact dermatitis on my eyelids from pretty much everything. And even if I don't, like if it's just dry, or if I'm stressed, or if it's, I don't know, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed, like that kind of happens. So after my cleansing, depending on if I feel like I want to, I just dropped some skincare that I was holding just to remind myself. After cleansing, I sometimes exfoliate in the shower, and that I maybe do a few times a week. If I don't, or I feel like that's not enough, I use this one, Nip and Fab. Super great, and it's a chemical one. I'm trying to get away from physical formulas, like physical exfoliation, just because I've watched so many dermatologists talk about how it can create micro tears in the skin. I, to be completely honest, really like the sensation of scrubbing physically with granules and you know, grains. I mean, I think a lot of consumers like myself really like that feeling. So we really like to go in physically and just feel like, yeah, I'm like putting elbow grease in there. It's getting rid of everything. It's not needed, but yeah, I would say go for a chemical one if you can. And then after that, I have a few different kind of regimes. So my little bags, I have them in Ziploc bags inside a big bag just because I have lots of different ones. So I always use an eye cream. A lot of people don't use eye creams, but again, as I said before, my skin area is very sensitive and very dry, and so I find for myself it's something that I really need. So right now I'm using La Roche-Posay and I really like it. It hasn't created any problems for me. It's really moisturizing and it's great. Wouldn't recommend a particular brand for anyone beyond well formulated. I think it would be good for most people. And my brands, like I don't really have a specific brand that I'm particularly loyal to at the moment. Right now I use a lot of La Roche-Posay, The Ordinary, Mugu, and Avene. So those are the ones that I really like to use at the moment. So my serum usage depends on what moisturizer I use. I was watching Dr. Drea, who was saying that the more multi-use a moisturizer can be, the better, because that means that you don't have so many formulas and so many products on your skin that could potentially cancel each other out or reduce its effectiveness or pill. So if I, for example, want to use this Mugu Natural Brightening Cream, this one specifically says that it contains ingredients that naturally and gradually lighten the tone of the skin and reduce melanin production. I grew up in Australia, I live in Australia where tanning is really popular, but I have also spent a lot of time in Asia where whitening skin is popular. So I see the benefits and the disadvantages, the advantages and the disadvantages of both. So if you have really bright, fair skin with a lot of people with dark hair, it can look quite nice and contrasty, and you can look quite youthful, I will say, because obviously, you know, the younger you are, the less time you might have probably spent in the sun, whereas if you're tanning, you can look healthy, athletic, and also you can look leaner because, you know, you're darker and it shows outlines more. That's why with bodybuilding competitions, they really tan a lot. But when I'm talking about lightening or brightening the skin, what I want to make a difference to are sunspots or acne, scarring, or just discoloration or hyperpigmentation. So for me, that is where the general color of my skin, so, you know, here, I would have like acne spots. Like for example, I have an acne spot here, which when it heals will be like a brown purpley color, and I'll want to fade that out. So I would use this. Now, so this already contains stuff for vitamin C, which is what my brightening vitamin C will try to combat, but it doesn't particularly talk about hydrating. So I will come in first with a hyaluronic acid. So the general idea is to go serums, moisturizer, and then seal it in with an oil if you don't have oils in your moisturizer already. So from lightest to thinnest, that way everything can really penetrate the skin. So I would use my hyaluronic acid, and then I would use a retinoid. This one is by Beffect. It's a gram-active retinoid emulsion, 2% plus GABA, non-irritant anti-aging formula with amino acids. So I really like that one. Dermatologists, I've read, generally agree on two things: sunscreen and retinoids. They're probably the two things that have been accepted widely to work. So with the retinoids, they target wrinkles, age spots, roughness, and scaling skin. And they say really your 20s is a good time to start using them. So I'm in my 20s, so I'm using that. So once I use my retinoid, then I would seal it in with a moisturizer. This one is by Mugu, the Natural Brightening Cream. And as I was saying before, if you don't have oils in your moisturizer, you want to go over with an oil. But this one does contain a various amount of oils, like olive oil, rice oil, coconut based, things like that. Some people will say that fruit oils or essential oils, people with sensitive skin, it can give you some reaction. This one, I've never had a reaction to that. I'm not sure that they have essential oils anyway. But yeah, so then I would use that. And then once that's done, then I just go to bed. If I am not using this moisturiser, I would go eye cream, Retinoid, and then my Mugu Natural Anti-Aging Face Cream. This one contains powerful antioxidants, healthy moisturizing oils, and natural ingredients. Just a word of warning, I don't think Mugu have either of these exact formulations anymore. I think they have replaced them with something different. I'll try to find a similar, its equivalent now. But basically this one...
So it contains olive squalane, which mimics the oil produced naturally in the skin. We've also included potent antioxidants such as vitamin C and resveratrol to combat the effects of free radical damage, providing the skin with essential fatty acids will improve moisture levels, which will help reduce and prevent fine lines and wrinkles. It uses edible oils free of paraffin, parabens and phenylphthalein, pH balanced.
So for this one, because it's incredibly moisturizing, I will skip the hyaluronic acid, and I will also skip vitamin C because this one contains, actually they both contain vitamin C. And so it'll be eye cream, the Retinoid, and then this. When I finish these two moisturizers, I have a stash of the Ordinary Natural Moisturiser, which one of my best friends gave me. So when I use that one, which is just a very basic, very clean moisturizer, clean as in like it doesn't have too many other things, I will be using my hyaluronic acid, vitamin C, and also Retinoid before that, and then also an oil afterwards. Right now I think I'm using the Swiss hemp oil, or I was before I decided not to use it anymore. I'll probably make an updated skin routine when I get to that point. Oh, also, I always like to use a lip balm. I really like Lano Lips because I just find it to be incredibly smooth on my skin, and I get quite dry around my skin, mouth, skin, everywhere. I also have a few little scars, so I will put vitamin E oil, or actually I really recommend silicone scar gel. That is medicine grade, excellent for just like smoothing the appearance of scarring. So for that, I will do that. Like I've got a little scar under my chin and just other areas of my body. During the day, my AM routine is I will wake up, wash my face with warm water or cold water if I can't be bothered waiting for the tap to get warm, and then just applying sunscreen. That's it. My sunscreen I use is the Neutrogena Hydro Boost sunscreen, SPF 50. It's amazing. I really love that for the skin. I have dry skin. That is excellent because I have found that especially if I wear makeup over any other sunscreen, it can be very drying and peel no matter how well I've exfoliated. My skin's just like that. So that is what I use for my face and neck. Oh yes, and I always do my skincare always up to my neck. My chest area is actually completely fine, but I have a neck that can get quite dry too. And then for my body, I like to use Nivea, just all body, but I mean, I don't really have a specific one for my body. And then if I've got makeup on and I need to reapply, then I like to use the Neutrogena spray sunscreen. I'll put that here. That is really excellent if you're just spraying over the skin. It's a little shiny, but it's not really noticeable. It kind of dries down after a little while. And I also really like using that for areas of my body that I can't get to, or if I'm outdoors, just bring that with me and just spray. And now that it's getting to summertime, as you can see, I'm kind of wearing a little summery jumpsuit. Super excited about that. So that is all for my skincare today. I will probably do another video because this one's quite long about my skincare devices. I have quite a few. I was actually considering getting another LED light, but I actually decided that my LED lights, I have probably some of the better ones out there. So I decided to go against it. I have handheld ones and I really wanted like a full face lamp. I was like, oh, I really still actually want it. I may buy it at some point, but we'll have to see. I'm gonna do a little bit more research and review looking just to make sure that it's definitely not something I'm going to regret. So I will do that one soon. Let me know what you guys like to use, what tips you guys have for skincare, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.